Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Buchanan, and this is going to be a video that's going to go over how this class works, so consider it the syllabus lecture. So to do that, I have the syllabus open. You can find this on Blackboard, and we'll walk through how to go through Blackboard here in a minute as well. But just kind of what you expect in this class, what's required of you, that sort of thing. Okay. So it's going to look like there are a lot of books and materials for this course, but the only one you need to buy is this first one. The Buchanan book. It has a flower on the front. It's called Latent Variable Modeling in R. You can get it at the bookstore or on Amazon. Highly recommend Amazon. You'll get a cheaper copy. And it's the one we're going to use the most. So I think if you go and look on Amazon's website, it's usually around $45. Let's see here. Yeah, 48. But you can also get some used copies. I don't think it's one that you can rent, but you can find some options for it. It is a paperback book is the cheaper version, and that's the one I have as well. So that book you definitely have to have or borrow from somebody. All of the rest of the materials, the Tabachnik and Fidel, the Byrne book, which is actually over Amos, which is SPSS's version of a sim program, but it gives some great background information. The Brown book I highly recommend if you think that you want to continue to do like confirmatory work. So if you're thinking about scale development as a primary area of research, that book is pretty indispensable. The Klein is more of a general like theory book. And then the last two are really for people who aren't familiar with R or just need some more help with R. And if you're coming from MSU's program, that's the book Dr. Vizio and I both use. Okay, so Buchanan book is required. Everything else is going to be on Blackboard or something that I think you already should have. So what are we going to do? Well, it's a sim class, so we're going to learn sim. So you'll learn some basic concepts in structural equation modeling is how we'll start, and then we'll just work through a bunch of different types of designs and analyses. You will have to do a little bit of writing, kind of learn how to report these in APA style. The main things we're going to cover are path analysis, so much CFA that you're going to be like, I'm sick of CFA, multi-group models, item response theory, multi-trait, multi-method, MTMM, and a little bit of latent growth modeling. So you kind of get a broad range of these different types, but you'll learn enough that you'll be able to do them yourself. So by the end of the course, I expect you to learn more about statistics. And so we're going to kind of assess that through the classroom assignments, and I expect you to learn about how to take those statistics that you have, look at that output, and be able to tell me what happened. So an important part of statistics is not only understanding what you're doing, but how to tell that to other people. The grading in this class, now this should be like so brainless because we're going to have sort of 6 big things and then a lot of easy assignments. So the big things are the homework assignments and the final project. So there are 5 bigger homework assignments that they're going to take you a little bit longer to do because they're a combination of a couple of the practice assignments. And so that's where you're going to practice R and you're going to do the sim stuff. So the first one is a kind of a reminder of how to do data screening and exploratory factor analysis, which will get us sort of into the right mode to talk about how sim models work. Then you'll do one over path models, one over CFA. That's one of the longer ones because there's 5 or 6 types of CFA, multi-group models, and then the last one is item response theory. So those are 5 larger projects. The final project is that you're going to kind of tell me how you're going to use this. So why are you taking this course other than it's part of the certificate program? And so you could describe how you might use one of these design types. Most people talk about survey development, especially in the IO track, but you can think about how you might do multi-group models or growth curve slope model. So this is really your way of telling me how you're going to use this material, or if you could. If you actually have data, or if you want some data to mess with, I can give you some. I have tons of scale development type data. It makes this project a little easier. But it is actually just a proposal, but if you have data, you can actually run it as a real model and answer the questions. For all of those, they're posted on Blackboard for you to look at them. The easy stuff are the practice or what's called class assignments, and those are all averaged together to be 1 grade. So there's sort of 7 pieces here. But those practice assignments have videos of me working them so that you can watch what I am doing and then also kind of play along yourself. So for every week that we have, you'll have a sort of a lecture video that's more theory, and then you'll have a video of an example, so an example path model or example multi-group model. And then you'll have a practice assignment. So normally we would do these in class, but this class is online, so it's all online. And that practice assignment is for you to practice your skills, hence the name, but also for you to have someone there to help you. So you can try this a bunch of different ways. So you could just follow along as you're going. I think you'll learn a little better if you'll try it yourself until you get stuck, and then go to the video and watch what I do and then go, oh, okay, I messed this part up, and fix it. You can do it either way though. And so those, hopefully you'll get 100 on, because they're pretty much like, did you turn them in or did you not turn them in? So turn things in on time. So I do take late work, it's 25% off per day. Everything in this class is due on Sundays, except for that last week of class because it ends on a Friday. This is your normal grading scale system, and I do reserve the right to use plus minus in your favor. So we do that, you know, an 87 is a B plus sort of system, but there is no A plus and there's no D minus, and I think it's all a hot mess when it comes to scale design, so I will only use it if it's in your favor. It's a little bit of the required university information, so any disability accommodations, please just let me know and we'll work through them. Academic misconduct in this class, really, like, I want you to work together. Don't turn in the exact same assignment, but if you're working together, I know they're going to be close, so, you know, no big deal. And then obviously on your final paper, just don't cut and paste from anywhere. I mean, you guys are all graduate students, you should know this by now, so just making sure that you are doing everything in your own words. Okay? And then we don't discriminate. It's great. Woo, party. All right, let's look at the schedule here. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. This is on Blackboard if this starts to get too small to read. So our first week here, we're doing Introduction to R and Data Screening in R. Hopefully this is just review for a lot of you guys, but if this is new to you, I recommend like hitting this pretty hard because we're going to do data screening for every assignment, so you're going to kind of need to like get in the flow of doing that. And you'll start to read a little bit about SIM. And so it's got 2 practice assignments. One is an intro to R and one is a data screening in R. The second week is when we're going to start getting into the idea of modeling and model fits. So you're going to watch a video about EFA and R because EFA is the first step to CFA. And it will get you started on terminology like fit indices and thinking about fits of models instead of p-values, because a lot of sim has like nothing to do with p. I mean, p is involved, it's in there, but it's more about creating a picture of the data that accurately represents the world. And then we'll start getting into terms and concepts because there are a lot of new terms. And so some of these chapters here, you'll see like the field, well, that's really for the EFA chapter. So if you are watching the video and you're getting it and you don't have that book, no big deal. But when it comes to like the Brown and the Byrne and the Klein and the Beaujean, so all the B's and then the Klein, those are more of the sim related books. So on all of these, we're going to be working practice assignments. There's usually 2 a week, except for the last week. And then once every other week, we get into real assignments. It's not perfectly every other week because of the way this class works. But that first assignment is data screening and EFA, so you should be able to do that whole assignment after you finish these 2. So what happens is that each one of these practice assignments is due the week that it's listed here. So those will both be due on the 18th. The assignment is due the next week. So you won't be required to finish EFA and terms and concepts and do both of these practice assignments and the big assignment. This full big assignment will be due the week afterwards. Because once we got to multi-groups, you might murder me if you had 2 practice assignments and that huge multi-group assignment at the same time. So everything is kind of due the week after, except I can't do anything about this the very last week. In that last week, everything is due on the Friday of the 4th, because that's the last day of class. It's technically the final for this class, and they're just like zilch shows that I can do on moving it forward, because then I have to post grades. But the nice thing about this class is that it is not, it's asynchronous, so you can work ahead if you are feeling good about some of these chapters. So these are all going to be due on Sundays, the week that they're assigned. These are all due on Sundays the week after, except for the last one. And so if you get through the first 2 weeks kind of quickly, you're like, oh, I got this, you can work ahead. So you don't need to wait till that Sunday to turn it in. Now most people do, just because you got lives and other things going on, but just kind of an option that you have. So let's look a little bit at Blackboard here. Blackboard will be up here in a couple minutes, but it's just got to fix some stuff going on in the background. But this is what it looks like. Once you log in, you'll get to the announcements page, and that's where I'll post anything interesting that's happening in the class or any comments on videos. You can click on syllabus and book to get to the syllabus and the information. Oops, sorry, scrolling too fast. You can get to the information about the book here. And I included the link to the Amazon page where it's much cheaper than, I don't even know where they got 232 from. You can click here to email me, so it'll take you to my contact information where you can copy my email or click on it. Didn't mean to do that, sorry. And then right now, I don't have a phone. I haven't fixed this. I don't have a phone because we are currently, the building's under renovation, which most of you know. So that phone number goes nowhere over the summer because they've disconnected them all. And I also don't have an office. I am homeless, which is why I'm recording this from my house. So if you want to make an appointment with me, we can Skype. And that worked pretty well last year. This first week of class, I'm actually going to be in Springfield, and I'll send an email about where you can find me. But if you're needing to get in touch with me, send me an email. Or we can Skype and we can screen share, and I can kind of watch and see maybe where you've gotten something wrong. When you send me an email about a question that's a problem with your code, because that's generally what happens is people get stuck on an error that they're not sure what they're doing, please send me the script that you're working with and any data sets that you're working with. Now I might have both of those already, but you know, it'll be much easier for me to troubleshoot the error that you're getting if I already have that, and I don't have to email you back and be like, send me your script. So just always send me your script and your data file, and then I will, and what error you're getting, and I'll help you work through it, because that's generally where people get stuck. There was something else. I've forgotten it already. So you can contact me through email. Oh, my email. That's it. If you're used to working in the Missouri State system and you're typing in things in Outlook, there are 2 Erin Buchanans in the system, and the other one comes up first because her middle name initial is higher up in the alphabet than mine. Please make sure you're emailing me. It's my full name at missouri-state.edu and not emailing the other one. She's very nice. She will forward it to me, but it's going to come faster if you actually email it to me. Under grade rubric here, what will happen is once you get a grade for a long assignment, you'll be able to see what you got right and what you got wrong. They'll be attached in an Excel sheet here under M numbers, which just tells you like what little things that you missed. But always feel free to ask questions about that. I do make, you know, I'm human, I make mistakes, or I maybe miss something in your turned in assignment. My grades, however, is where you'll be able to see all of the assignments, and I haven't changed any of the due dates yet, so they all say last year. So you'll see all of the different assignments and then the actual score. So if over here it has an exclamation point, that means you're still waiting on me to score it. And then it also gives you your overall score. So this will be current as soon as you turn things in, and it's just an average of all those different assignments. So the big 5 assignments, the final project, and then the class assignment average. Come on, Blackboard. And so all of the class assignments are sort of down here, and you can see that it's just a running average of all of these. Exit here. Okay, so let's see here. How do I actually take this course? Like, how do I get to stuff? So I have everything kind of linked over here on the sidebar in a couple of different ways for sort of ease of operation. But weekly modules is where all the action is. So, and also I need to update these due dates as well, but these are from last year. So you click on the Intro to R1, and on this one, if you are familiar, like you've been working in R for a while, you might not need this section, but this is just in case, you know, it's been 6 months or you have never used R. Okay. So it tells you what things to read, and it links to some of the readings, and then it tells you what videos to watch. So when you click on attached files here, sometimes it'll take you to an entire folder of files. So if it's a bigger section, I might have 5 or 6 files that I'm using, so you can download them all at once. That just means that there's more than one file. Sometimes it just links you to one file to download. And then here it shows you all of the different videos. So if you're like, oh, subsetting, I don't remember that, or oh, how does that mice package work again? You can pick one specific one to watch. Okay. And there'll be another one here soon about how to do your homework, because you guys are my guinea pig test class on using R Markdown for homework. Don't be scared, it's actually really cool and you'll like it. Or you won't, but either way, we're gonna do it. So as you're walking through these, let me click on student view again. And let me pick a different one here. Let's go to path analysis. What'll happen is it'll take you through, so here are the readings, and it'll link you to the readings. So I can click here to go to the specification chapter, right? So it has the book linked here, and I would go down until I found the right chapter about specification. I would go open my book for the Buchanan chapter here, and then it has like a sort of recommended chapter, but these are the specific chapters that this lecture covers. I could click on the next little icon here, and here are the videos that are through each of those chapters. And so this PowerPoint will tell you about estimation. This entire folder will cover the path model section. So you would want to download all of these to work through what I'm going to do. And then there's videos for each thing. So I could watch the estimation video. You can either watch it on media site with the like voice and action and face at the same time, which is what hopefully you're doing now, so you can see the gloriousness of my hair. Or you can watch it on YouTube. So media site is cranky sometimes and will take shit and won't run. So I have them all also linked on YouTube just so that you can always access the materials. The other nice thing about either one of those is that you can download the materials. So if you have media site open and you have a specific video open, you can right click and just like download HTML, and the video will also download. If you are using YouTube, if you just Google how to save a YouTube file, you can find websites that will actually save them for you. And I don't care if you save them offline, that's fine with me. Especially if you know you're going to go on vacation and the internet's going to be spotty, but you still want to get your homework done. So you'd watch them, I'd watch them in the order that they're presented. So estimation first, then on path models, and then a path example. So if it says example, it's going to be opening R and working through R. Then when you click next, when you're done with all that, it'll actually take you to the homework. So you'll click, and it'll take you to the homework once I fix it. I didn't realize it was broken. All right, so once I fix that link, it'll take you to the page that's over here that says practice assignments. So I'll actually open the exact homework for you to do. Where can I find all the readings if I'm not going through the modules? So the nice thing with the modules is like step 1, step 2, step 3. So it's linking you to everything throughout the course. But if you are wanting to save these readings for like offline reading later, it gives you the course schedule again, well, at least the one from last year. And then here are all the readings where you could download each PDF separately. And so it's a way to have, like, this is the page where all the PDFs are. But they're also linked through the modules. You can also click on our information. That just tells you like how to download our, some learning our videos if you have a specific thing that you're stuck on. There is a specific page for Levon Help, which is the package we're going to be using to do sim. And so there's actually a lot of really great information on here, especially if you decide you want to use this later. So sometimes when I get stuck, I use this website. So it's the website for the book, basically. The lecture notes are all linked separately over here as well. So not only is it linked inside the module, it's also linked separately. So if later you're like, oh, I don't want to click through all that module crap, I just need to find that path model section. You could click to open, it'll take you to the path models again. And then last but not least, all the videos which are linked in the module are also linked over here, so you can just go through these videos one at a time. So what the weekly modules link really does is it tells you, like, here's the information you need just for this week. So here's the things that you should be reading, here's the videos you should be watching, and then here's the assignment you should be doing. So it's very linear. However, if you're just later when you're trying to do maybe a big assignment, you're like, I need that pathing again, but I don't want to go through the module, you can go to it straight from anything in this course materials section. So I've tried to link things several times just so that you can always find it. Alright, now I'm going to click on assignments over here. So when I click on due date, it's actually going to tell me when every assignment is due, which is all of this is wrong at the moment. Yes. All this is wrong at the moment, so don't really look at it. But once you open your Blackboard and this class has gone live, you'll see the right due dates. And it'll just tell you, just as a reminder, when things should be turned in. The due dates are also linked under My Grades, and they're linked as part of the actual assignment. So there's 3 different places you can find the due dates. Okay. Really what you should do is go, is it Sunday? I have something due. Everything is always due Sunday at midnight, except that last week. Remember, it's due on Friday because that's when class is over. Click on practice assignments to get to those practice assignments. So you'll open up the markdown file, which I'll explain in the next video, to take your assignment. But to turn these in, if you're not familiar with our Blackboard system, you click on the actual words, right? And here you'll click Browse My Computer and upload a Word document, or upload the markdown output that you came up with. More on that in a minute. But what you'll notice here on practice assignments, and this is what I like about this course, is that when you're working on practicing, I don't want you to feel like you have to get everything right. I do want you to actually do the assignment though. So each one of these practice assignments has a YouTube video, and it's literally me working the assignment and explaining what I'm doing and telling you why I'm using the code I'm using. So you'll want to use those to help you get through the assignment. There's also some other help that you can get, which we'll talk about in a minute. But each one of these assignments has an example of me working it. Now the real homework assignments don't. So these are more of the assignments that you'll get graded on. So for the practice assignments, I'm going to look at make sure you did all of it, and then I'll give you basically 100 if you did it all on time. If it looks to me like you only did half of it, you only get half. Now for these, there's very specific rubrics for them, so there are right answers here, you know, give or take, but in a way that if you miss something like in the data screening, it's not going to affect your information later, as long as the code is still correct. So if you mess up here, it is going to affect every step after that because these analyses are like step by step. But I have it graded in such a way that it's like, did you do this part right? You know, and if that messes up the next part, well, did you at least try to do the next part right? Now for these, there's the 5 big assignments, so they cover different kind of big conceptual chunks. I would say the longest assignment is probably CFA models, followed by multi-group models. So give yourself some extra time for these two, because they just have a lot of different parts and pieces. All right, so to turn those in, same thing. Click on the actual words, click Browse My Computer, and upload that assignment. That final project is explained here under Final Project. And so you'll click on the Word doc here. And it'll just walk you through. This is a little bit more informal. It is like, you still like write it up, but if you, it's not like an APA style write-up. The other assignments have sort of styled write-ups. This is more of a just like walk me through each one of these things. Okay. And so just write me like kind of one big Word document that is formal and covers all these things, but is not necessarily an APA style write-up. All right. What else we got here? So another couple things that you can use to get help is our Facebook page. So you'll have to join the group. And so you can ask questions here on here. The help desk person and I are both in here. Okay, hopefully that didn't freak out too bad, but the help desk person and I are both in here and we try to answer questions as we go. So that's one way to get help. The YouTube channel links you to like all of my videos, so if you have questions about different types of analyses, we have over 400 videos at this point of different things that you can do in R and SPSS. I don't remember where this goes. Let's see. I think it takes you to like Blackboard help. Oops. The other thing that you'll notice as part of being in this course is that you'll be actually enrolled in 2 Blackboards. Most of you are familiar with this, but if you aren't, you'll also be enrolled in the Psych Help Desk Blackboard. And we do have a help desk person this summer who took the class last summer. So huzzah for her. She's going to be here in Springfield offering help desk hours. And so for the first couple weeks, we're going to try to do them on Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I've already forgotten what she told me, but I will send that out as an announcement through the help desk Blackboard. And so you can always click on that to remind yourself of the schedule for the in-person help desk. She also answers emails and the Facebook stuff with me. So there's a bunch of different ways to get help when you get stuck. If you're asking for help with SIM though, be sure, like I said, to send your script and your data file, because otherwise we're going to have to take that lag in time of asking you for it. If you are sending us a message on Facebook, take a screenshot of what you've just been doing. That'll help. But the help desk Blackboard really is to make sure that we keep up with any changing times. So we'll be able to send you an announcement in case somebody gets sick or the building is closed or whatever. And the hours are actually going to be at the new Glen Isle Center, where our building is sort of temporarily being housed next year, which means that you don't have to have a summer parking pass for campus. And we're still trying to totally work out all the kinks with that. So just, if you want to come by, and hopefully we won't have any issues. I think that's it. So you can get help by emailing me, using our Facebook page, emailing the help desk, which is scihelp@missourustate.edu, which is linked on this Blackboard. You can go talk to Flora, who is our help desk person this year. And if you want to come in the first week of class, I'll be in the help desk a little bit as well before I take off. So lots of ways to get help. Do not get stuck. Don't let yourself get behind either. So that's the big thing for this course, is that there's I really want you to learn it and not focus so much on grades, but don't get behind and don't get lost, because the material really builds on itself. So what you should do now is go watch the video that covers how to do your homework and how to turn in your homework. So we're going to use Markdown this semester, as well as update your R and your R Studio. So we're all using the same versions. So when something goes wrong, I will at least know that everyone has the same version of R and R Studio. And that means that you will also have to update your packages. So that just to make sure that we're not having any weird quirky moments because you're using R 3.2.1 and I'm using R 3.4, because that can cause us some little issues here and there. Okay, so, hi everybody. I hope we have a good time this semester, and let me know what you need.